looking for the sports channel, Gary.
Alrighty, well, this video will be the weekly game plan for the last week of October. Last week on the SPY, we said that we were expecting a sideways week, and boy, were we right. Not only on the daily time frame, but on all time frames. The daily time frame, the hourly time frame, just a bunch of chop shop, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that's exactly what a sideways week is about. So next time I say sideways week, let me know to just take the whole week off, save myself some trouble, or to just set up some iron condors, because that would have been a little bit better from last week. Last week, we said to go long on SBCE over 2250, targeting the 2450/25 area. Well, SBCE did the deal. We got a nice good 10% move. We didn't get as high as 25, but we went as high as 2435, and that was able to get 80% of our position out. And then we had to cut it once we started dumping underneath 2250. But SBCE did the deal last week. Last week, we said to go long on TAN over 74.75 because of the nice good consolidation bull flag that we had. And so we did just that. We went long just over 74.73, so we bought it. And we added over 75, just like we said in the game plan. And we were able to get a partial. We took a partial at about 76.88, just in front of the former breakdown candle high area right here. And we got a nice good break, but then we started to sell off the next day. We had a slight gap down and then a massive 8% drop. So TAN was kind of like a partial. We were able to get out half for, $200 profit. But the last piece of our portion, we had to lose $100. So making 200, losing 100, net, still a profitable trade, but definitely interesting to see how TAN just did a false breakout. That's exactly what it looks like. New high, should have had follow through at least to that 80 level, but just dumped right afterwards. Last week, we said to dip buy DKNG, DraftKings, just at the 4150 area, scaling in all the way up to about 4050, and we did just that. We scaled in all the way from 4150 and then bought some more at 40.50, had our stop just below a daily close below 40, and that did the deal. From 40.50, we got a nice good 5% move. We were able to catch about 2 to 3%, so kind of a dud, but still a profitable trade on DraftKings. Last week, we said to go long and dip buy Roku at this 214.26 area, this gap window. And Roku, although you can't see it on the daily chart, you can see it on the hourly chart. We sold off after hours in sympathy of Netflix having poor earnings because Roku and Netflix are apparently correlated. But I saw that we were in this zone, and we started to dip buy and scale in 214.50, 215.70, and we were able to scale out a little bit. Roku went as high as 229, so Roku was a nice good dip buy trade last week. This week, this is given the SPY is green. SPY, we will talk about later that it's a short underneath 240.275. But if the SPY is green, our first stock on this week's game plan is Nike. And Nike is showing this nice good higher low, then a quick higher high, then another higher low, then another higher high, and we're keep holding this trend of higher lows. So Nike, I'm looking for a breakout just over 130. I think if Nike's getting over 130, we should see a nice pop to all-time highs. Our stop is going to be just below the daily candle, so 128.74, 128.49 will be the stop level, so a $1.50 stop. I think you should be able to target at least $3 on Nike from 130, so 133 on Nike this week. Last week, we initiated a short position on Netflix based on the hourly chart. We had this nice good bear flag move down from the poor earnings report because everybody's using the same Netflix account. And we had this nice good solid consolidation. So we went short just underneath 490, but we are still holding this short, and Netflix I'll be adding to this short trade if we can get under 482.30. That'll kind of be the level 482 if you want a little bit more confirmation. And we're just targeting about the 472 area. That's this kind of bottom demand zone, 472, 475 if you want to take your profits a little bit early. But our stop is going to have to be just above 490, maybe 488 if you want a little bit tighter stop. So that'll be Netflix short trade. We're making money on the way down. Our next stock in the game plan that we're watching is Disney. We're getting a lot of good positive news with their Hulu editions and how they're restructuring their business plan to favor streaming. So Disney, we're looking to go long over Friday's high, which is about 128.50. And we're going to have a stretch target on Disney of about 130, 145. Stop is going to be probably about just underneath either 127 for a looser stop. Otherwise, if you want a tighter stop, just underneath 127.49. So a nice good dollar stop and about a $3 target on Disney. and that'll be for this week's game plan. We might even stretch and make a higher high all the way up to the 147 level, but that'll probably happen post-earnings. This week we're watching for a dip buy on SQ. We came into this demand zone and we're starting to base out and put some hammer candles, although they haven't turned green just yet. We're either looking for a dip buy at about the 169.50 level. That represents this previous all-time high, 170.64, but it'll probably dip beneath under 170 because there's going to be some stop hunts happening. So SQ, we're looking for a 169.55 dip buy scalp, and stop can be like a 5-minute close beneath 169, and we're just going to target something like the 171 area, or if it's coming underneath, we're going to watch for it to hit its head right above that 170.50 level on SQ square. IWM is looking great on the daily chart. Lately, we've had this nice good run up, and it's been relatively strong compared to the QQQ, the NASDAQ, and the SPY, the S&P 500. We got this nice push up and then this sideways consolidation. Look to go long on the IWM if we get a 164 break, and that should be a really good breakout. And I'd be targeting at least something like the former highs, maybe a little bit short underneath there, maybe as high as 167. So if we're going to have a $3 target, you might need about a $1.50 stop loss, but you might need to stop out just beneath 158. So the risk to reward is a little bit skewed, but if we can get that breakout, and certainly if you want a longer swing trade all the way to all-time highs or past all-time highs, IWM is showing some relative strength. Our last stock in the game plan is BABA, and Alibaba is coiling up nicely right now. We've got this nice push up, and we've been really struggling with this 310 area. So if we can close a day or an hour above 310, and certainly if we get above 312, but our entry trigger is about 311.26 for Alibaba to go higher. Alibaba will perform better if there is a Biden win because China-U.S. trade tensions will be a little bit lessened under a Democratic president. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's too tough to say. But Alibaba should benefit if Biden wins. So this will be a further out trade if Biden were to win the election. Otherwise, watch for a deeper dip buy, maybe about the 286 level. So dip buying around 286 or taking a short breakout trade if the SPY is green at 311.26. And so with that, we're going to be looking to short the SPY if we're starting to come beneath 342.50. We'll just be targeting that 339, 338 area. And remember, if we close a day below 339, look out below. We might see as low as 329.50 or maybe as low as 302.50 in the next coming weeks. That is if SPY is selling off. Correlations will tend to sync up if SPY is starting to sell off. And it's too tough to, it's a little bit tougher to short individual stocks versus just shorting the indexes. So look out for SPY. We're either looking for a breakout of this consolidation. This is a bull flag until and unless it is not. So we're still coiling up. We're either going to break out or break down. It'll probably be decided after the elections. So keep an eye out for the sideways pattern. Wide sideways pattern, and this is kind of our range right here for the sideways pattern. So these are the high points, these are the low points. Until we close a day above 350, I don't think we're going to get going on the upside. Alrighty, what stocks are you watching this week? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.